Right, here we are, another episode. No Andrew today, but Charlton fan Tommy is in the building. He might have to go at some point today.
I'll be dashing off quicker than Arsenal's title hopes.
Oh, straight in.
Oh, straight in with a dig, eh?
Straight in. Get
That's
him
big
out.
words, big words from League One, isn't it? So I couldn't hear it. Couldn't hear you all the way down there.
We've got to take what we can get. Come on.
Right, as you've mentioned Arsenal already, we're going to talk about obviously Man City winning the league. And it's getting a bit boring now, ain't it? 4 out of 5, is it now?
Yeah, 5 out of 6.
4 out of the last 5 seasons, 5 out of 6.
Five
Probably
out
going
of
to win the
6.
treble. Is the Premier League a farmers' league because of Man City?
No, because they do slip up occasionally, but they are consistently probably the best team, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't, because they do lose the odd game to, like, they lost to Spurs. You know, they've lost to a lot of teams, but I think there's ways to play Man City, and like Arsenal sort of went at them. That didn't really work. Liverpool go at them, but I think like Liverpool have got that a bit more about them, so they can get at them. Spurs sort of sit back and hit them on the break. Do you know what I mean? It's a hard one, isn't it? You've got to have the players to match them if you're going to go chasing them down. Whereas, like, I think, like, Arsenal don't have that sort of players. I think with Arsenal, they just did very well for a long time. Do you know what I mean? But I think they have been found out. Saka's been nowhere near the quality he was at the start of the season. Jesus got injured, come back, done okay, not great.
They play at high pressure though, don't they? It's going to be a struggle to keep that up for a whole season.
Yeah, I mean we're 2 or 3 players short, I think, of winning that league. Like this season, I'm not saying we are next season, but this season we're probably 2 or 3 sort of class players short from getting it over the line. Probably another centre back, another midfielder, and like a proper striker would have been ideal.
I mean, Man City.
I don't want to be. Again, I don't want to be slagging Arteta off because he's done an unbelievable job. But at the weekend with the Forest, it's like, what's he doing? What is he watched? Brighton manager thought, his older midfielder could play right back. I'll give it a go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really get it. I didn't really get why he was doing that. Do you know what I mean? I would have played the same back 3 and stuck Xhaka at left back because he can play left back, and he's done it a few times. I just thought it was a bit weird how he chucked the young lad, the Polish lad, out at the left back. Papaya, right? It was almost like, what are you playing at? What are you doing?
Huge result for Forest, though. That kept him up, didn't it?
Basically, yeah, kept him up, yeah. But I mean, I think they would have stayed up anyway. It's because I don't know.
Tom, what do you reckon? City, they're going to win it next year? Year after that? Yeah,
the thing with City, although they are such a phenomenal team, like just the chemistry that they have and the way that Pep gets into play is just unbelievable. But I think it's more to do with the teams around them are terrible. Chelsea are dreadful. Tottenham are terrible. Man United, don't think they've really improved at all.
Yeah, but you say that two of them 3 teams beat them this season.
I can see what Tom's saying. If it wasn't for you,
Chelsea are the only team in the Premier League not to have Haaland score against them.
But if you look at the only 2 teams that have challenged them in the last couple of years, Arsenal, they've built more of a team than obviously anyone else in the Premier League, and Liverpool, the year that they really did build a team, they challenged. But they've just been...
You've got to remember, Liverpool last season were only, a point away, a Champions League final and an FA Cup final, away from winning all 4. So you say they're rubbish. They're not. They're actually really good. They've just had problems this season.
Yeah, that's what you think you're saying. This season, if it weren't for you, this would have been over months ago.
I mean, they weren't that good. They weren't that good at the start of the season. Do you remember everyone going, can Haaland play in this team? You know, slagging him off, going, they've got worse. People are very forgetful. Do you know what I mean?
It says it all when the other team challenging is Newcastle. They've got money.
Yeah, but they've spent a lot of money.
I don't think their team's great though. Like individual.
Do you know? I think it is good. I think Newcastle's team is good.
There's a couple of them, but you wouldn't say
They've
they
got
were a top
before.
three team,
I mean,
player-wise.
before what was it? Before probably the last 10 games, they had the best defensive record in the league by a long way.
Yeah, their defense is good. They got a good solid
Do you know
defense.
what I mean?
I
Like,
wouldn't say
I
they
mean,
were
Nick
top
Pope
three
for
players.
10 million was a steal, isn't it? I mean, I wouldn't put him in that world class bracket of goalkeeper, but he is a top class goalkeeper.
He's
10
former
million.
Charlton, isn't he? That's why.
Yeah, you'll like him.
Isaac looks a good player.
I mean, he was linked with Arsenal.
Big fan of him.
They didn't want to pay the 67 million or whatever it was. But I mean, he got injured for a lot of this season. But I do think Newcastle got a really good team. I mean, Kieran Trippier, as much as I hate the bloke,
I do like
what
Trippier.
buy that was.
Yeah.
No one talks about that as a buy, do they? I know it was like last year.
What's his name? Dan Burn. Where the hell has he come from?
Dan Burn came from Brighton.
I thought he was going to be an absolutely awful signing. I thought, well, they did find Dan Burn.
thing is,
Didn't they find
I think
the book? Chris Wood.
Yeah, I think that Dan Burn is. I think he is a Geordie lad, isn't he? I think, and I think
Yeah.
and I think he wanted to go there, and I don't know how they got him, but they got him because they paid £8 million for him. But like their whole back line is less than Harry Maguire.
The thing is, though,
Yeah.
if you was to look at that Newcastle team before the season started, you would not even place them in the top four.
No, you wouldn't. But
No.
I did say they'd make sort of Europe. They were definitely in my European shout from the start of the season. I mean, I can't remember what my top four was exactly, but I had Arsenal in it because I do every year. Probably Liverpool, City, and then it had been
Chelsea, probably. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe Chelsea. Yeah, especially when they started buying all the players.
The thing is, though, with another window coming up, are Newcastle actually going to be title chasers next season?
Yeah, I think they will. I think with them getting Champions League, which they will do tonight if they get a point, I think it is, or 3 point, I can't remember what it is now. They will be able. Their finances will go from like there to like there, and they will be able to spend so much more money. So much more money, and you're talking about a club that've got more money than City. You go on about how City will dominate, which they will. They will, but if Newcastle keep investing and keep spending, and Man United get taken over,
Yeah.
it won't be a farmers' league; it will just be a three-man league because no one else will be able to keep up with them.
Because it took City a few years, didn't it, to get to where they needed
There's no doubt
to be.
about it. They've got the best striker in the world at the moment, haven't they? And they've got the best midfielder in the world. And Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland. They're going to be always there and thereabouts to them. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see when Pep leaves. I mean, I quite hope they do the treble. Because I feel like if they do the treble, we'll probably fuck off somewhere else. Which I think will do the whole Premier League a favour.
I'm going to be fuming if they do the treble. Absolutely fuming.
Why? Because of your bet?
I had that quadruple bet, didn't I? Southampton knocked him out of the League Cup. Southampton.
Of all teams. Bottom of the league, Southampton.
Like you were saying, though, just look where Man City started. I remember them, when they first had their bit of money, they had Craig Bellamy, Roque Santa Cruz. Record signing.
I mean, they brought Robinho out of nowhere, didn't they? I know it didn't really work for him.
He thought he was going to United, though, didn't he? He thought he was going to the other Manchester club.
Sounds worse as Wingy, though, during the transfer window.
That's what I mean. I just think, so much can change. I mean, Man City have been dominated for years, obviously, because they've got the money. I mean, you see that thing that's been floating around. It's amazing what a decade can be for a club when you spend 2 billion.
Yeah.
You do win everything.
United spent the same in that time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look,
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Liverpool say they don't, but they do.
They do, but they recoup a lot on players as well, don't they?
Yeah. They're the winners of the net profit.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
But everyone spends a lot of money. Well, Forest spent how much this year?
Yeah, exactly.
But you got to look at City as well. Like, they do buy some high-profile players, but there's quite a few in the team where you probably didn't hear that much of them before they actually moved to Man City. Like, Akanji, I didn't know who he was.
I play a lot of Football Manager. I do know a lot of these players.
Rodri's a hell of a player. That was a hell of a buy.
To be fair, Rodri, I didn't know much about Rodri. To be fair, and if he got a big injury, I don't know if Calvin Phillips would be able to stick up, to take his spot.
But even like Gundogan, did anyone ever really know Gundogan before he signed?
Yeah, I did. The
Thing is,
Where did
like,
it? He was at
Brucey
didn't
Dortmund,
he
wasn't
go
he? No,
Dortmund.
Was it
Didn't he go Dortmund, Munich, then back to Dortmund or something weird? Or was that a
something like
different
that.
but Nathan Ake was only at Bournemouth, wasn't he?
player?
Then he
Yeah.
went to
But he started off at
Oh
Chelsea,
yeah, he
didn't
went to
he?
Chelsea.
yeah.
Yeah, he went. To
Started off at Chelsea, he went to Bournemouth. But I mean, you knew who Nathan Ake was, didn't you? He got
Yeah.
I know he got
But
relegated
yeah.
with
At the
Bournemouth,
time
but
of Bournemouth, though, you wouldn't say he's going to be winning the Premier League with Man City.
the thing is, though, you don't have to be a great player to play for Man City, do you? And win the league.
Look at John
No.
Stones. Came from Everton, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, John Stones, I think he's world class. I really do.
Yes,
I rate John Stones massively.
That role he's
Right.
playing at the moment, though, where he's like basically like a centre midfielder slash
That's what I
centre
mean.
back.
What's that about? Can't wait for Gareth
crazy.
Southgate to give that a go.
Harry Maguire covering.
Oh, mate, you know what I mean? Just play these players where just play these players where they're meant to play, isn't they?
This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion. I got tons of soul on my true collective ball. Famous, also famous, number one desirable.